Looks good. Alrighty. Getting my play back up. Hopefully we're all good. Close that. Fucking Sunday NFL ticket. All right, there we go. Uh-oh. I don't know if anyone's going to show up. Well, hopefully people do. Probably not, though. We can be hopeful. What's up, Kenny? Nice. I think you're going to be the only person who comes to the stream. I don't think anyone else is showing up. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully it picks up. We shall see. I'm closing all this shit. It's good. How was your day? Been pretty chill. Just kind of relaxed. One of the first days I've really been able to do so since August. So, been pretty good. Didn't have to get up early, didn't have to do a bunch of work, don't have to do a bunch of work. So that's always cool. Was able to sit and think about some football stuff this afternoon, which is always nice. Kind of think about some of the news and kind of get caught up on things. Max Crosby's out for the season. Butker is kind of back. Trayvon Diggs is done for the season. Oh, Travis Hunter just won the Heisman. So that's pretty cool. There isn't even college football. I don't know where everyone's at. Tomorrow's going to be your first day. You had to go to graduation. Oh, tomorrow's your first day posting. That makes sense. Oh, your first real day off. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense, though. Feels like I haven't had a day off and I still really have some stuff I have to do teaching wise, but I'm kind of just stuck in a weird limbo thing. 3 A's and a C. That's not bad. I think I'm getting 3 A's. Pretty standard grade course for me. I tend to do pretty good. Pretty good grades though. The C kind of stinks, but it's still passing the class. Huh. Well, I guess the stream isn't going to be doing much better than the 3 people. I guess that's kind of just where we stall out at tonight. Well, that's okay. Because of testing skills. Well, that's kind of a bummer. Being a bad tester can be pretty bad. It can be pretty detrimental. Good test taking is a good talent to have. And where is everybody? There's no one even to talk about anything with. Since you were in grade school. Yeah, that makes sense. Testing can be a little weird. Surprised you don't have some accommodations for that. Probably the Lions versus Bills, I would have to imagine. It's probably the best game of the regular season on paper. Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's that. Oh, you get extra time? Oh, okay. Yeah. What's up? What's up, Spears? What's up, Jacob? Welcome to stream. Probably won't be a super long one tonight where there's like nobody here. No one watches the channel anymore when we do these streams. I'm not really sure why. Bunch of nerds on the two watch this channel who don't like talking football, I suppose. I guess that's just things people don't like doing. You want to be going to that game? Nice. Sounds cool, I guess. Spears is just gone. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, never mind. You really want to see Mahomes? Yeah, I'd imagine the price of tickets for that game is probably a bit silly, though. As far as like the normal price to go to a Browns game this year against most teams is pretty low. However, because the Chiefs are coming into town, the tickets are way more expensive. That's always like the bummer of wanting to see good players in the NFL. Like you just get destroyed by ticket costs. Very greedy situation football is. Oh, they're season ticket holders. Oh, then there's just another game for you guys. I think I've seen Lions season tickets are up to like a couple thousand a piece now. It's like, damn, dude. And they're still selling out. It's not the issue. It's just they've been good for 2 years and they just decided to hoe everything completely out. But I guess that's the cost of having a good team. You know, obviously things get more and more expensive. Team's better, more people want to see it. Tickets are in higher demand. You can charge more. But it is about a bitch to see the steep greed some of these companies do have. What's up, Chris? How's it going? Yeah, if you guys can, make sure you're dropping likes too to help the stream out. We could use all the help we can get to get more people here. But yeah, Kenny, what do you think the best game is tomorrow? Because there is some good ones, right? Eagles, Steelers, Jets, Jaguars. Which game you going to see? You got the Packers, Seahawks. The problem is, see, that one probably on paper is a lot better than the Bills Lions, only because even if the Lions lose this game and win the rest of their games, it theoretically does not hurt the Lions to lose this game. With the way that the football works and the way that the NFL works and the way that playoff seeding works, losing to an AFC or NFC team, when if you're in the AFC and you lose to an NFC team, as long as you and that team didn't play the same team. So like, I don't think the Eagles, for example, play the Bills this year. And I don't think that the Vikings play you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those weird things where it's like those two teams that the Lions have to worry about right now don't play the Bills. And I don't think either of them played the Buccaneers for some reason. So it's like one of these weird things where it's like, so long as like Detroit can lose this game and still be like the 100% favorite to win to just be the 1 seed. I think they hold it with a loss here to the Bills. Again, because there's this way that it works where it's like it doesn't matter when you lose to a different conference. Out of conference wins are like not even considered in tiebreakers. It's literally like, we'll go to like points scored before we go to tiebreakers, or like out of conference wins and losses. So you could theoretically go 0-4 against, well, no, because, you know, your division opponent. Because again, common opponents comes into play. That's where that starts to count. But again, if it's like your random AFC team and like the team that's like fighting you for the number 1 seed doesn't play that team, it's like, oh well. And I don't think the Eagles play the Buccaneers. Let me see something. Where are these pesky Eagles? Let's see. Eagles. Where's their schedule? Son of a bitch. How do I find their stuff? Here, I'm gonna just do this. This is very simple. Let's see. Oh, they also lost to Tampa Bay. Wow, that's hilarious. You know what I mean? So again, both teams losing to Tampa Bay is one of the funniest parts of this, because Detroit's only loss is also, so like you go to common opponents, they both lost to Tampa, and the Lions don't play the Falcons. And Detroit doesn't play Pittsburgh. But I don't think Detroit plays any. Oh wait, we played Dallas and beat them. They also beat Dallas. That's, yeah, they don't play any of these guys. And if they do, they beat them already, because Detroit only has 2 division games and the 49ers left after the Bills. So see, that's why it doesn't really matter if the Lions lose to the Buffalo Bills. If you're a Lions fan, you could literally be like, I don't care if we win or lose. Maybe you want to lose this game, theoretically. Because what happens when teams play each other twice in the same year, usually the second matchup doesn't go the same way as the first. It's the same reason why Detroit really probably doesn't want to play Green Bay in the playoffs, unless they just kind of own the Packers, right? There is two. Oh, you're going to Carolina versus Dallas? That's pretty cool, man. Hopefully the Panthers win that game. That'd be rather funny. My Sooners men's basketball team are about to be 10-0. I got the Steelers winning in that game. I think the Panthers did something. There's always for some teams they can get exposed. And again, it kind of just depends on how the Eagles look this week. We'll see if it was like an exposed game or not. When Goff threw 5 picks, it was like, did the Lions offense? Oh, never mind. They just scored 50 points. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, nobody figured it out. There is no trick to beating the Lions. You just got to beat them somehow. With the Eagles, now we just seen what Carolina did, and it's like, wait a minute. They completely just fucking took Hurts out of the game. Like, they somehow like put the brakes on Barkley by pretty much just going like, we're going to make them throw it. And they just couldn't do it. They had like 80 yards, or what was it, like 88 passing yards or some crazy shit like that. Like they won because Leggett dropped the ball. Like it's like, oh no, the Eagles lost that game, but like Leggett dropped it. And when I think about that, I'm like, what are the Steelers going to do? They're going to go look exactly what Carolina just did. Take that game plan. They may even call them and ask them what they did and get the game plan and then make it better, because the Steelers have better defense. The Steelers can 100% force that same situation to happen. And the Steelers are very comfortable just kind of, you know, they'll get the job done offensively. They'll get enough points. So we'll see if the Eagles are actually for real, or if they just kind of got the light shined on what they do over there in Philadelphia. Because again, they're kind of a single-faceted offense, and that's never great. One reason why my second team always loses, because Hurts can't pass the ball. Yeah, that's bad. Well, the Eagles are 11-2. They never lose. The Niners, yeah, they've had a bad year. However, injuries and everything like that is kind of the main culprit here. It's really hard to win against your injuries, which is why Dan Campbell should be coach of the year. I don't even know how it's a conversation. It's like that guy's got 13 guys on IL. One point it was 18 or on IR, sorry. Like, and it's not like practice squad guys. It's like, no, most of them are like starters or like the second string, or in some cases, the third string guy too. And people are like, the coach of the year should be Kevin O'Connell because he's because he's winning games and no one thought he would. It's like, is that really the criteria for coach of the year? They're doing their job. Whoa. Whoa. They weren't fucking awful. Is that really like the criteria for one of the more prestigious awards in the NFL is, well, they did better than we thought. Like because that Vikings team probably didn't expect to lose games this year. If you ask Kevin O'Connell and you ask anyone in that Vikings building, they're like, no, we wanted to try to win the Super Bowl this year. So again, the media sets these weird expectations that the Vikings are going to be a bad team, and then they exceed the media's expectations and go, wow, they exceeded everybody's expectations. No, they didn't. They exceeded your expectations. Vikings fans, I think they were pretty gung-ho about a Super Bowl before the season started. Like, hey, maybe this is the year. Like, before everybody got hurt, I think it's weirdly stupid to use the criteria of biggest surprise team gets to be the coach of the year. When last year that wasn't the case at all. They gave it to Kevin Stefanski because rightly so, he coached around 5 fucking quarterback problems. You know what I mean? Like that's stuff that's like, oh yeah, no, that's actually a pretty big deal to have to use 5 different quarterbacks and you still made the playoffs. That's impressive. That's like actually like, wow, that he coached the shit out of that last year. And for once they actually gave like the award not based on surprise, but like overcoming adversity. I think that's the proper way for it to go. And if that's the way they're going to start giving that award away to coaches, it's like, well, how are the Lions not the number 1 team then? Like they're 12-1, the best team in football, some people say. And they're like almost all their best defensive players have been hurt all year. It's just like, oh, well, it should be Kevin O'Connell. It's like, no, it shouldn't. For what? Because he had to use because he's got one of the best sets of offensive talent in the league, and his quarterback is. It's like that's not what. That's retarded, kinda. Think about it. It's like, how are they doing this with Jordan Addison, probably the best number 2 in the NFL, and Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the NFL, and TJ Hawkinson, probably one of the better receiving tight ends in football? How are they doing this? I don't understand. How are the Vikings any good at football with all of these weapons? Boy, I'm shocked. We should give this guy an award for having really good wide receivers and a good tight end that nobody can cover. What a good coach. That's the Vikings argument. Is because they had to use Sam Darnold. Like, nah, that's not a very good argument. That team shouldn't win it. Dan Quinn shouldn't win it either. Washington's not going to win their division. They're the 7th seed and might not make the playoffs if things keep going the way that they have for them. Sorry, they're out of it. That just, to me, leaves Dan Campbell as the only viable option for coach of the year. I don't think there's a strong argument for any of these other coaches. Not one that's not stronger than 13 of your defensive starters on IR, including backups like second string and everything. I don't think there's a tougher, because again, you could look to a team like the Niners who have like 4 guys or 5 guys on IR and their season's cooked. Look what happened to them. They had like 3 guys get hurt and their whole season fell apart. Kevin O'Connell or Kevin Stefanski won coach of the year because his quarterbacks kept getting hurt. 1 player. 5 times. Aiden Hutchinson is still like a top 10 defensive end, and he got hurt like week 5. Like he's still 9 in pressures and like top like 12 in sacks. So again, theoretically, like why like he was going to win defensive player of the year. The Lions lost him. They lost their starting 2 linebackers in Derek Barnes and Anzalone. That's enough to that kills teams, by the way. They lost their starting corners for 2-3 weeks. They were running 6-string corners in games this year. I'm not kidding. They were running Vildor, and I don't even fucking remember who the other guy was. When Arnold and for at least 2 games, they were missing Arnold and Carlton Davis, and they were just running dudes out there. And and they were still winning these games. They've won a number of close, very close games. They have like 4 walk-off field goals this year. It's like, I don't understand how who else would be coach of the year? The only way I could say Dan Quinn wins the award is if Washington makes the playoffs. Then it's a viable, like, yeah, that's pretty impressive. What do I think about what, Kenny? Debo and Juice need to go next year. I won't be happy if Debo comes back. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with Debo. He might want out. I don't know. You can send him to New England if you don't want him. We'll take him. He wants to be a Patriot anyway. Washington had great success, coach, but Washington is bad every year with the. No, Dan Quinn's been very good with Washington. Packers versus Vikings. Do you guys play them again this year? Jacob, I hope you guys do beat the Eagles. You guys should. It's not really an upset. I don't consider 11-2 versus 10-3 an upset. Just like if the Bills win, it's not an upset. Like, it's like, no, these are like the top, all the best teams in football. What do you mean upset? You're the number 2 seed in the AFC, or the 3 seed in the AFC playoffs. And with a win and a Bills loss, you're the 2 seed. There's no underdog in that game. Sorry. I don't believe in when it's 2 double-digit win teams with 3-2 losses, neither team is a real underdog. That's not like a real thing. I think you guys will win that game, Kenny. Is it in Green Bay or Minnesota? You guys will. Most likely. Just sell out to stop the run, and then fucking that idiot won't be able to throw the ball for worth the fuck. Because they can't throw anymore. I'm telling you, it's been Jalen Hurts this whole time. I've been on top of this situation for 2 years now. 2.5, really. I watched it happen 2.5 years, about 2.5 seasons ago. I was like, oh, Jalen Hurts is falling apart passing. This is killing this Eagles offense. And they're going to blame it all on Nick Sirianni for some reason, when they really shouldn't be doing that. It's not Nick Sirianni's fault. I've completely flipped on my opinion on this. I figured it out. I'm like, oh, it's not Nick. Never mind. They fucking hate AJ. They hate AJ. They hate Hurts. That's who that offense don't like. I've been trying to think, is it Nick Sirianni? It's like, no, why would they dislike him? He seems like a decent guy. Like, why? Like, it seems like players like playing for Sirianni. So I'm like, it's clearly not Nick. That's the issue there. Because again, they tend to do he's a very good coach. So I'm not exactly sure the issue. Yeah, Ben or Lore, if we could get Debo from you guys and we go add T. Higgins, oh, dude, we're fucking good. You might as well give us a Super Bowl. I need the Giants to beat Baltimore. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Eagles are a good team, but watch out. But I don't know if Pittsburgh can stop Saquon. Yeah, we'll see. Pittsburgh's one of the better run defense, so they're a very good defensive football team. Teams typically don't do what they do very well against the Steelers. They tend to get kind of hoed up a little bit. But we'll see. Sorry, he's already going to be a Patriot. You guys don't understand. We got Drake May now. Receivers are going to want to come to New England. Plus, we have $132 million. Plus, you get to be a part of the team that brings back all the glory to the Patriots. And a lot of these fucking guys in the NFL, a lot of the really good players in the NFL really like the New England Patriots. That was their favorite team growing up because of Tom Brady. And now, we see Mr. Drake May, best young quarterback in the NFL. And if you don't believe me, he's in the same efficiency level as Drake, some guy named, how the fuck do you say this guy's name? Josh Allen? The linebacker? He's as efficient as quarterback as that Jaguars linebacker apparently named Josh Allen. And L. Jackson, same exact level of efficiency. Hold on, I gotta find something. Here we go. Open link. Yeah, this is what I was trying to figure out. Like, who is this good where Drake May is at? Let's see. QBs that excel creating plays out of structure, create rate, which is this top side. You can see these guys. Typically, pocket passers will be at the bottom here, and then EPA per play. Jameis Winston is a very hilarious, efficient quarterback. However, this is probably where we see Drew Lock being up there is hilarious. He just doesn't play very much. But this is very up to date. This is as of week 14, like before games were played by the 49ers and Rams. So what do we see here? Obviously, older, less mobile quarterbacks will be toward the bottom, so that's kind of an outlier situation. However, what do we see? We see Jaden Daniels, we see Bo Nix, we see Caleb Williams all in the exact same spot. Oh, look at all them good young quarterbacks. They're all on the right side. You want to be in that upper right quadrant. That's kind of probably where you want to be on a list like this. And then, of course, there's Jaden right here. Can you guys see that very well? Yeah, so you see Jaden, you see Bo, you see Caleb, and that makes sense, right? Bo's played better than Jaden slightly, and Caleb's has up and down moments. No, nobody wants Devon. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Laura. You guys had a guy quit in the middle of the game. That was pretty crazy. Lamar Jackson destroyed the Giants, most likely. Then you see Joe Burrow, who's, again, he's not as mobile as the other guys, so he starts to go down the list. If he was more mobile, he'd probably be somewhere like around here. You know what I mean? He just isn't really like going outside of the pocket. It's similar with Baker, who's had a very good year. I think most points scored or most offensive touchdowns is like the Lions, the Bills, a third team, and then it's like the Buccaneers and the Bengals. I'm not kidding. I just don't remember who number 3 was. Is it the Ravens? I think it's the Ravens. It has to. I think it's the Ravens. Those are the. It goes literally like Lions, Bills, Ravens, Bengals, Bucks. And kind of looking at this, you can kind of see that, right? Like Baker Mayfield, Burrow in the same spot. Makes sense. Kyler Murray's had a good year despite the Cardinals' kind of shitty record. That's not really his fault. Again, a lot of these make sense. Pat Mahomes, he's doing what he can do. He runs around. He's always going to be somewhere around here. Drew Lock is a weird outlier because he's played like 3 games, whatever. And he's, he runs around. He's very good at like the pocket breaks down. He can run around. He can make shit happen. The thing that's interesting for me, here are 2 guys who are like probably leading MVP discussion. You want to see where the other guy in the MVP discussion is? Fucking Goff. He's in the shit category with Cousins, Cooper Rush, Aiden O'Connell, Will Levis, Jordan Love, Mac Jones, Rodgers, Richardson. They're in the category. But again, pocket passer. I'm not really sure why he's here. Pocket passer at his age. New offense. Dog shit. Pocket passer. Not mobile anymore. So that's whatever. This is kind of a weird thing. This is, again, it's creating plays outside of structure, and fucking Goff doesn't go outside of structure. Tua doesn't really go outside of structure either. A lot of these guys are just kind of, they don't really do that. Their offenses are very, very specific. It's not a good idea for some of those guys to go outside of and do something different, because it's like, why would you do that? Your offense is like timed. Bad idea. Again, the thing I find most interesting here is this right here. And again, I'm a Patriots fan. So, again, of course, I'm going to find this part the most interesting. Drake May is playing as good as Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. The raw numbers prove it. He's as efficient as them, and he's as good as creating plays outside of the structure as the 2 best guys that do what Drake May kind of does. That's really good. I'm very excited. And there's a large sample size on Drake May. He's getting better every time he takes the field. He's a better quarterback each game. And it's like, oh, shit. We got the opposite of Mac Jones this time. And again, the old adage remains true about these fucking Boston teams. If I wasn't a Patriots fan, I'd be very nervous about this. Because what has been kind of true over the last 2 24-ish years now, Boston teams don't stay bad for too long, right? They've probably been the best championship team city for what, 24 years now straight? You can think of multiple Celtics titles, multiple Bruins titles, multiple Red Sox titles, a whole shitload of Patriots titles. And that's their four major sports. Like, and all they've done is win multiple titles in those. And again, they're typically always involved in the championship picture or right at the championship, kind of the title game, deep playoff runs. You know what I mean? So again, Boston teams don't stay bad long. It's because they get guys right out of MIT, Harvard, Boston College, all those schools right there. They just kind of like hire all those guys for like their first jobs, and they just are like fucking genius statisticians that want to work for the Red Sox and shit. And they're like, fuck yeah. And that's why those teams never stay bad for so long, and why they're always so ahead of the curve. They hire very smart, like nerdy interns to like help them kind of construct their teams. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk about how Drake May is the future of NFL football. Week 17 flicks. What? Probably around week 17. I hope that the Niners can go find a linebacker that doesn't quit on his team. Yeah, who knows what's going on with Devondre Campbell. I always worry about when shit like that happens. You know what I mean? It's like, that's weird. Why? What the fuck? Why did he do that? A lot of people are like jumping on him and kind of being rather negative. But we genuinely don't know if like he's having some problems. Maybe getting benched was just it. He's just like, fuck this, man. Like, you know, like it's not that big. Like, you might just, it's not a good look to quit on your team. Again, I don't like that at all. That's kind of shitty. But again, you know, people are kind of, you know, you don't know if he's got some shit going on, like up in his head or something. And like getting benched was like kind of like a weird last straw for the guy, where he's just kind of like, fuck it. You know, like, I hope he's good. You know what I mean? Like, I hope everything's chilling. He just was like, fuck this. I quit. I don't want to play anymore. And then it's like, oh, all right, well, maybe you should have waited till after the game then, you fucking baby. And that's what it is. But if he's got other shit going on where he just like, you know what I mean, like checked out mentally, it's like, that's not good. Two teams playing Berlin, Germany. That's cool. I guess. I genuinely don't care about any of that. The games are going to be played where the games are played. I have no greater thoughts on that. I don't give a fuck. I love the Ravens to draft Trey Harris in next draft. I don't know who that is. I basically know about Travis Hunter, Ashton Jeanty, that one dude from Arizona named Tet, who I really hope the Patriots don't draft. And I got to look into the lineman now. That's coming up next. I'm pretty bummed out that they gave the Heisman to that to not the GOAT running back. That's why I don't fuck with college sports. I don't know why the hell that running back didn't win. Was he not the best player in college football? Did anyone tackle him yet? Fairly certain he has yet to have been tackled this season. What's up, Jake? And they just gave the award to somebody else. Marcus Jones played 3 ways at the University of Houston for 4 years and no one gave a fuck. He's pretty good, Marcus Jones was. No one cared. He's just like, oh, well, who cares? It's like, we literally got a guy who does that already. His name's Marcus Jones. We just don't use him on offense because we're retarded. Like, that's it. That's the only reason why we don't use him. Trey Harris, he is on Ole Miss. What position does he play? But yeah, Laura, I don't mean to be rude about that question. If I came off rude, you know what I mean. It's cool the game is expanding internationally. Um, I hope I hope it just keeps happening. I think football should take the world over. I think it's a very good sport, fun sport. Wish more people watch my channel when we talked about football. Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't have anything else to say about this. Um. Yeah, I would say Brock Bowers is probably going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I can't imagine them giving it to. Well, I don't know. I get Bo Nix, but they're not going to give it to Bo Nix, which is really shitty to do. However, I do believe Brock Bowers is top 5 in receiving yards right now. As a tight end, that's fucking incredible as a rookie tight end. I was just to see the thing is like it feels like Sam Laporta's season last year, which was very similar, got hand waved off, and it's very obnoxious it's like, well, Brock Bowers is like, we've never seen anything. It's like literally Sam Laporta last year did this. It wasn't even that impressive. We just watched Sam Laporta do the same thing. But it is, which means that Bowers is going to be a dog just like Laporta for the rest of his career. And that was fucking obvious. Any dude who's balding at like 22 is like, yeah, you got to probably take him. He's going to be fucking amazing. he all he thinks about is football. His hair is even going away. He just thinks about playing football. His hair doesn't even think about growing. He doesn't waste unnecessary bodily power to push out hair and shit like that. He's just out there generating pure power. He's just pure football. Just pure football thoughts. Football. Like, he's able to devote 100% of his brain to football, whereas you, the common viewer, have to devote, shit to your brain power to like growing your nails and shit. He doesn't do that. He hasn't cut his nails since he's 2 years old. They just don't grow. They're the perfect size, and that's it. Well, I'm guessing we're probably just going to wrap it up here pretty soon. It seems as though, I think we're doing all right. Still got a decent crowd. Guess we'll keep it going for a little while. I thought that rant had killed the stream. It was down to 2 people on one of my comments. I was like, uh-oh. Then jumped back up. I was like, okay, we're good then. We're good. Randy Moss has cancer, which isn't great. I think he's got like pancreatic cancer too, which is pretty bad. He had to get something called like a Whipple surgery or something like that. Yeah, there's a bile duct between his pancreas and liver that had cancer on it, so it's not great. Those are probably those things you don't really want to get cancered up on. Because again, that's a particularly hard thing to beat. It was pretty obvious he had something going on with his pancreas or liver, because I mean the guy's fucking eyes were yellow as shit, and it's like, uh-oh. That's usually a pretty bad sign for a person whose eyes were normally very white to just suddenly become like a jaundicey yellow. And it was like, oh no, what's going on? Is he drinking a lot? Then again, it's like you never really see Randy Moss drinking, so you're like, it can't really be. Never really was an alcohol problem guy. You know what I mean? So it was like, Then it was like, oh, he's got cancer. Yeah, that makes sense. He looked really sick, so looked a lot better on the live that he did. We kind of announced everything. Yeah, Odell's he got cut. We'll see where Odell winds up. Still bummed that they didn't give it to Ashton Jainty. The 49ers released Devondre Campbell. Yeah. Joins the Lions and plays every snap. Doesn't miss a beat. I'd be like, damn, that sucks. He just didn't want to play for the Niners anymore. He's like, these guys fucking suck, dude. I don't want to play a fucking bad football team. Goes back to Green Bay. Would you guys take him back, Kenny? What's up, Wade? Been away, just tired. Been away from since almost noon. Damn, that's a long day. You would, Kenny? Yeah, because he's like a talented guy. I think he's just at the end of his career, to be honest. He's like what? And he got drafted in like 2016 or something. So that's an 8-year career for a linebacker. That's about that. That's probably it for him. With 3 games today. What games? That's cool though. Sounds like a busy day, Wade. We'll probably stream for another like 15 minutes, then we'll call it today. We're doing 2 games tomorrow, so. Because of money. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you guys. He was in the same kind of similar thing to why you had to cut, or why you let Zadarius Smith go a little bit. Again, a lot of people say it was for one reason, but it's like it's like no, you legitimately had you had money issues. I remember this. You only had like fucking enough money to sign Rodgers, and you gave him a big ass extension, and everyone else had to go. It was like you gave Adams money, you gave Rodgers money, and it was like we ain't got shit left. But then like Packers fans like to pretend that Smith left. You guys got rid of Smith because he had a bad attitude about not being a captain. It's like that sounds like opium. I remember you guys gave all the money to Rodgers and Devontae. And then you probably turned around and told Zadarius, hey, take a pay cut, we'll make you a captain. And then they didn't make him a captain. I'm willing to bet that's what happened. I bet you there was supposed to be a deal about him taking less money to stay with the team because they had to give all the money to Rodgers and Adams. I'm probably right about this. And then, you know. Because I never understood why because again, you had the Smith brothers, Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith. Can't even imagine what you guys will look like with Rashawn Gary and him. Jesus Christ. But again, you can't really have like 5 defensive ends as good as you guys have a ton of good defensive ends though, so kind of makes sense. Had to let somebody go. So you let the older, Zadarius is a little bit older than those other two, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, no, you guys didn't make a bad decision. I mean, inevitably, it was like, it's just like, well, sorry, Z. It's just, I don't think you anticipated. I don't think the Packers really, usually when the Packers do that, it doesn't ever backfire. Zadarius Smith is probably one of the rare backfires on the Packers, to be honest. They really don't mess up. Packers genuinely don't really have bad releases. They're very good at when they get rid of players. They're like, yeah, nah, fuck that. Goodbye. Rodgers needs to retire. Zach Wilson was terrible. Zach Wilson did better than Aaron Rodgers did 2 years ago, if we're being honest. The Jets were a better team last year with fucking Zach Wilson than they are right now with Aaron Rodgers. That's a simple fact, by the way. If they'd have give Zach Wilson as big a leash as they gave Aaron Rodgers, they'd have won more games last year. Seems like the Jets were only losing games when they weren't fucking just playing Zach Wilson. Maybe they shouldn't have got rid of him. Maybe that was kind of premature and retarded. I know it was funny. Bill Belichick called the Jets and was like, hey, you guys interested in hiring me? And these idiots straight up told him, we haven't even started our head coaching search yet. It's like, damn, they just lost out on Belichick for the second time. Do you know how fast they should have been like, yeah, we'll hire you, Bill? That happened. That was like a real thing. I think the Belichick's not denying it either. He's like, yeah, I called him. What's up? I thought I could figure that out. And they just told me they weren't even fucking starting the search yet. Oh, that, you know how fucking stupid they are? They literally just let Belichick go for the second time. That's incredible. Apparently, Belichick found it very funny that they hadn't even. What's up, Donnie? Did you hear Belichick almost went to the old Jets today? He was interested in signing with the Jets for a coaching job. You know, which whatever. We fired him, so if he wants to go there, it would have sucked, but. You know, he's chasing the wins record. He has like this weird fascination with the Jets. Them fucking, it's just so fucking funny. They're like, he basically called and said, hey, I'll be your guys' coach. And they went, we haven't started our coaching search yet. We're not interested right now. No, Bill's the head coach of the Tar Heels now. He's not leaving there. Yeah, he went out. Yeah, that's why Bill took that job, because the fucking Jets are retarded. If they'd have just went, wait a minute, hold on a minute. Are you calling because you want the job? And if you went, yeah, are you willing to hire me? And they just went, we haven't started our head coaching search yet. Like, dog, you could have righted the mistake, whatever mistake you made 24 years ago. It was sitting right in front of that organization to correct it. The universe was like, here, correct your mistake. And the Jets went, we should do our due diligence first. It's just like, oh, great. Okay. Keep doing the things you guys do. You guys rule. That's why I never really worry about the Jets. That's why I didn't worry once about the current Jets. I kept telling everyone, like, this don't mean shit in 2 years when they're fucking terrible again. It's going to be so fucking funny. How you doing, though, Donnie? You kind of came in mid-rant on me making fun of the Jets. I know, that's a pretty rare thing for me to do. But it had to be done. I'm a good guy. I do a lot of brave shit on this channel. I don't think I get enough credit. Making fun of the Jets. Not a lot of people do that. We almost have 10 likes on this stream. That's pretty good. Nope, everybody seemingly left. Lately, the Giants are just a better overall team than the Jets. Yeah, the Jets had one good season in the 1960s and have been dog shit ever since, basically. I think they've had 4 good years since the Super Bowl win, which was like maybe like the 5th ever Super Bowl, and they just never won another thing since. I don't even know if they've ever been back. I think the furthest they get is like the championship game, then they lose. Did they ever go back to the Super Bowl since the 60s? Since Namath? You know a fun fact about the NFL? The Jets have the first 4,000-yard passer in Joe Namath, and then they never have done it again. That's almost as funny as the Bears just never having one. It's like, damn, the Jets were the first team to ever get 4,000. And they've never done it again. Again, what's a funnier statistic? Being the first team to do it and then never doing it again? Or just kind of not knowing how to pick a quarterback for the better part of 90... Well, how long have the Bears? 104 years? Give or take. Maybe 103. Because they had their 100-year anniversary game with the Packers, right? That was the 100-year. Kenny, if you're still here, you can help me. You and the Bears have both been in the NFL been in football for 100 years now. Because you played that anniversary game, and I think that was that was both your 100 years in the NFL, because you guys like came in at the same time. So yeah, I don't know what's funnier. Not knowing how to fucking figure out the quarterback for 100 years is basically the Chicago Bears. Or being the first ever team to do something and then just never doing it again. Despite being, the New York's favorite team. The Jets. That's the funniest part is I think the Jets are a more beloved New York team than the Giants are, despite the fact that the Giants are a far better football team. Like at every level, they've won a Super Bowl for like every decade, the last 4 decades. They got one in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. It'd be very funny if they turn their shit around and in like 2028, 2029 season, they win the Super Bowl. So like they walk away with the 29 Super Bowl. I'd be like, damn, dude, the Giants always come through. Once a decade, they have a very good season, and that's about that. It just sucks for the Giants fans that their very good season came fucking a year and a half, 2 years into the new year. It's like, in the next day, you know what I mean? So it's like, it wasn't like in the middle of the decade, so it wasn't super long. It's like, damn, we had to win that shit in 2012. Now we could be waiting almost 15, 18 years between our next one. Yeah, you always want to kind of middle of the road it. We didn't like 86, so that way you fucking 84, you know what I mean? Somewhere around there. So that way, when you win it in like 94, it's only 10 more years. Not winning it in 99, so it's like, oh, damn, 15-year gap, but we won the fucking thing anyway. Which isn't bad, right? That's a pretty good way to go about it. Every 10 years, you get a Super Bowl. That kind of guarantees you that most generations of Giants fans will at least get one. Maybe 2 if they live to 20. The vast majority will not see 3, though. They're a dumb fan base, the Giants fans. There's no Giants fans here, right? We can talk shit about these people a little bit. They love Daniel Jones. There was like 1 or 2 Giants fans that didn't love that guy. And it's very funny to make fun of them about that. For the better part of 5 years here, I've been rooting for Daniel Jones, fucking dog shit quarterback. Mainly because I was hoping the Giants would keep him forever. When they paid him, I was so excited. I tried to gaslight people into believing that was a good contract because it was very funny. It was good times. It was good times that 2000 when that contract got signed. That was one of my favorite times in football. We can only hope the Eagles have a similar fall soon. Doesn't seem like it's very likely, though, unfortunately. You want Packers versus Lions part 3? Maybe. We'll see. Your coach isn't very good in playoff games, though. We shall see if Dan Campbell was a fluke in that. Well, he didn't really even coach anything bad. The fucking team choked. You can't actually point to many decisions in that game where you're like, oh, Dan Campbell cost his team. It's like, no, actually, terrible fucking execution of his calls cost the team, especially on the defensive side. Those are more your culprits than most things. By the way, if you haven't dropped a like yet, it helped the stream. I don't know. Seems like everybody's starting to thin out a little bit. How many people we still got? Is this 4? Well, it is 10, so I think I might start rapping if people are starting to dip out. Nobody's really saying much. Well, appreciate everyone coming by. I think it was a good little stream. Andy Reid? He's just got. I think he's a good coach. I think Belichick's probably better all time. Belichick does have like 8 rings as a coach coordinator. I don't know, man. Andy's a good coach, but like until Mahomes showed up, that guy was literally considered one of the worst clock management coaches of all time. Andy Reid used to be synonymous with blowing games because he has no idea how to manage a clock. And it still happens when he's the coach of the Chiefs, by the way. It's just Mahomes makes up for it. Like, Andy Reid has blown so many games as the Chiefs head coach that Mahomes is kind of fucking like saved. But again, Andy Reid's like a fun guy and the team really likes him and plays hard for him. So that's kind of an important part of being a coach. Sometimes you don't make the greatest decisions, but your team kind of picks you back up. You see it with Detroit too. Yeah. Patriots, the way Brady would play for Belichick and the way a lot of those guys would play for Belichick, despite having like weird, what's the word? They don't have cuddly feelings towards Belichick, but they'd have gone to war for him. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. All right, though. I appreciate everybody. We'll be live tomorrow. Yeah, Kenny, you it looks like you're the Dirty League. It looks like the Ken Dynasty's over. Looks like you won't be winning anything. You did qualify for one round, so you could maybe make a miracle run. If you win as the 6th seed, I'm gonna laugh so hard, be like, damn, dude, Kenny's inevitable. He just can't lose. All right, though. Peace out, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. It was a fun stream. We got a good hour out of it tonight, so appreciate you all for watching. Have a good rest of your night. We'll be live tomorrow for most likely it'll be the Bills, Lions, and then the Packers and Seahawks tomorrow. Just because I'm not, you know what I mean? I'd watch the Patriots and Cardinals, but I'm really interested in this Bills-Lions game. All righty. I appreciate y'all. Have a good rest of the night. As always, go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, as always, go Patriots, even though we're the best team in football. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Good night.